Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to One Hub Racing Season 21, the final tier of the night, and we head to the P1 tier for the Belgium Grand Prix. This is line only this season, going to be very different, very competitive. Only 11 drivers tonight, but I'm sure we're going to have an entertaining race anyway. My name is Jess Ball. Mr. Evil Dragon's meant to be joined in the commentary box, but his PlayStation 4 has decided to implode after his race, so he's got me. I stepped in at the last minute, so hopefully this broadcast should still go alright. But what hasn't changed is who's in the co-commentary box. We've got Jamie. How you doing?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, very excited to get another season, another game of One Hub Racing underway, and yeah, it's been quite a good night so far. So hopefully these drivers can give us everything. And obviously now we do have this, as you mentioned earlier, the no line, line only, sorry, and yeah, I got that confused. But yeah, and yeah, it should be good. And obviously now there's nobody can complain about ABS being OP or anything. There's no excuses now. These guys can. It's their pure ability which have decided who's going to win a championship this season. And yeah, it should be a great season. I think it will be really competitive, and there's several drivers who I can see fighting for that drivers and constructors championship.
Yeah, exactly. And last week, the drivers have been busy in terms of their team applications as well, in terms of deciding on which driver would to go into a specific team as well. And P1 was actually the first tier to decide their teammates. They pretty much got it all sussed. I think everyone wanted a teammate right off the bat, which made things easier for Jamie to choose the teams, of course. But we've got obviously Tom and Samba. Samba's not here tonight, but they're both in the Mercedes. We've got Josh and Evans in the Red Bull, Lakita and Konzo in the Ferrari, Legend and Rudy in the McLaren, Henry and Kieran in the Alpine. We've got Robin West and Rick in the AlphaTauri. It's hard to read on my screen. Tico and Dutch Tricked in the Aston Martin. G Chalkers and Karen Robb in the Williams. Scotty and TXM in the Alfa Romeo. And Hannes is only on its own in the Haas, but we're still looking for one more driver who has a good pace to do line only to join this tier. So if you are interested, let us know. But any surprises on the team choices?
Not hugely. It sort of went how I expected. I think I thought Kieran, being a champion, maybe would have applied for a top higher team. Maybe an Alpine's a bit of a surprise, but the guys in the top teams have all definitely had pedigree in One Hub Racing. Obviously Tom had that great season last season, and now with Montana gone, he may feel like he can definitely fight for the championship. And we've got a few other guys. Yeah, I think the team pairings, I think because this is top tier, a lot of these guys, because it's top tier, they tend to race together quite commonly. I think they sort of know who their friends are, and obviously there's a lot of like esport teams, so we've got 10 ERT drivers in this tier out of 19, and I think that sort of helps selecting teammates, because these guys, they probably race each other several times a week, so sort of know who they get on with and who they think will be a good teammate for the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly. And I've commentated on quite a few drivers, actually. I've commentated on Tom many a time in PSGL. I think I've commentated on the Key 2 as well in One Hub, and also in PSGL 2. Rudy as well as currently P1, as Tom has had a spin in No Name. So that is quite a commonplace to spin as well. And we are starting to see, I think we saw in P2 earlier on that the times were at the 1:42s for pole position. I think it was separated by 6,000 of a second between the top two, but I think we can expect to see things very close. So obviously we don't rely on ABS now. 7.004 kilometers is the how long the track is for the drivers today, and it has 90 corners, 10 to the left, 9 to the right. Fastest lap was set by Valtteri Bottas back in 2018, 1:46.286. That's the race lap trim, by the way. And we have corners like, we got the Camel Straight, we've got La Source, El Rouge, Radion, we've got Rivage as well, Pouon, Campus, Stabilo, Paul Ferrer, Blanchemont, loads of corners where people could do overtakes today. Right on board with Konzo, actually, as he goes through Campus, Stabilo 1. I don't know how you call these corners, but we've seen in many of the tiers tonight, a few people tend to spin around it or invalidate their laps around this, so it's going to take a while for the tyres to warm up and to get the proper laps in at the moment. But since we have only a few drivers tonight, at least it gives them a bit of space to get probably 1 or 2 laps on these softs.
Yeah, so the long jabs and also the length of the track. There should be no excuse to drivers not getting a lap in terms of track. There should be plenty of space for these guys to get their laps in, so that should not be an excuse tonight. As the Cons about to finish lap, what can he do? Obviously, in the Ferrari, I think the first time ever, he's in 1 minute 43. So it's a bank lap for him. And yeah, Paul, I do expect to see maybe towards the end of the session, maybe a high 42, maybe. I don't think we'll get the 41s, but I think a high 42. A low 42, sorry, maybe the benchmark pole position as Rudy. Obviously, he's stable mate. Legend had a great season last season. Now Rudy and Legend, they were really quick in the qualifying night. Obviously, last week they were a bit of the 2 quickest guys qualifying night. So I think you have to say they're probably the favourites at the moment for the championship, but as we've seen in the past, qualifying night is really no barometer for how the season goes, as obviously that's 1 lap in a practice session, and race trim can be a completely different ball game. But yeah, I think that the McLaren boys are going to look good for a possible tilt at the constructors this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite close. Obviously, like you were saying, all the drivers know each other well. I think there's only a few drivers that only have 1 person representing them in a tier as well, so we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, a few drivers are in the unknowns as well, like Tico, for example, but obviously we brought in by ERT because they know he's a good driver, so we'll see what he does as he gets towards turn number 1, heading towards La Source now as well. You've got to be really early on the brakes there, because otherwise if you go too late, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble and turn into a spin. Our Rouge, I've seen brave people try to go for moves there. If I were you, I wouldn't do that in the race, because that's where we see incidents happen. That's what we saw in the lower tiers earlier on as well, and it could play a huge effect if it's raining. Heading towards Lecom as well, that is probably one of the main overtaking opportunities. We've seen a lot of drivers overtake through there. Heading towards Bruchel now as well, clipping that left-hand curve as well. And people could get a bit of understeer as well, heading towards No Name. I think it's either Ravage or No Name, but I like to call it No Name. But as Tico get a bit squirmy there, heading towards that corner. He's going to head towards Puron as well, which he could get a very good exit in the race as well. He runs a bit wide there, so I think he's going to lose a bit of time there, heading towards... So he's backed off, he's invalidated, so that's his lap over. I'm seeing anyone else on the lap. We've got Scotty on the lap as well. We also got Josh, who's moved from P3 tier, podium tier, all the way up to P1, and I was looking at his pace throughout this game, and he's improved quite a lot. He usually sandbags, but he hasn't sandbagged this season. He wants to show why he's one of the best drivers, and I think that's a changed man from Speed Josh, because I used to race against him in the bottom tier. I think you raced against him as well.
Scotty spun it, sorry. Scotty had a spin there. He got on that curve on the start of sector 3, and he's very lucky not to hit the wall there. We saw a few guys in the P4 tier crash out there in qualifying in the wet, and yeah, that was a scale up for Scotty, but thankfully he's okay and he's able to continue. But yeah, Josh obviously was a runner-up in both tiers. In the P3 tier last season, arguably maybe should have won both championships. I think he maybe was a little bit inexperienced there, but he's definitely worked his game, and he's in the top tier. He's in the top tier on pure merit, and Josh would be able to spring a surprise or two. I think this is his first time he's in a top tier, so you know, he's new to this. But he's got a lot of potential, and I think I expect him to progress I expect him to get quicker as the season progresses. I think once he gets the confidence, he's building up. I think he may be able to challenge some of the guys, maybe even the midfield at the start of the season. But I think later on the season, he might have to push for podiums.
Yeah, as he heads towards the bus stop chicane now, as he's trying to get a better entry into there as well. He hasn't set a lap time yet, but he was one of the also faster guys in qualifying night. What can he do now? Up to the line, 1:43.8 P9, so still time to find for him, as Lakitu has just gone to had a little bit of a spin as I just went on board with him. Anyone else on the run? We got Henry in the Alpine, at the only sole Alpine right now. I think the only team that's got 2 of their drivers in is Ferrari. But luckily it's early pre-season. Henry going into the pit, so he's aborted that time lap. Lakita's obviously binned it. Robin West is going to go as well. Robin West has had a few moments last season, but there's been some races where he's shown some good pace as well, so maybe he could be up there as well. But I'm not surprised to see Rudy on Tom in P1 and P2, but I was expecting it to be the other way around because usually Tom is the quicker driver and Rudy's the one who fell short. But Rudy, I would say he was a few tiers below Tom last season in PSGL, but now they're on the same tier and Rudy just taking this game like ducks to water. We'll see what he could do as he came across the line, up to the line. He's going to be quick. Wow, 1:42.4, 7 tenths quicker than Tom. He's on a mad one at the moment, and he was prepared in the final sector too.
Yeah, he's put a stamper down. He wants to really stamp his authority and lower the benchmark even further, and that's going to be a tough lap time to get. I think Tom is definitely capable of it, but he's going to have to really drive a perfect lap if he's going to get close to that. That's quite an impressive pace, as he's a second quicker than the guy in 4th place. So, yeah, Rudy is definitely showing he's one to keep an eye out for this season. As you have to say. Yeah, Robin West, I've been impressed. He's had a good lap there, as you mentioned earlier. He's doing quite good. Yeah, he did have good potential last season. Also, Chalk as well. Chalkers should have won the Monza race last season, but he had a little spin towards the end. And yeah, when obviously got likes Lakita, who was a former champion, got a lot of really just incredible drivers in this tier, and I'm just so looking forward to it. Obviously, with round 1 at a new circuit for round 1 in Miami, so that's an interesting circuit to start this game cycle on. It's obviously a lot of these guys have driven Miami already. Obviously, these guys have pounded laps around Miami already, but seeing the race around there, it's going to be quite interesting, and not especially when you've got that section towards the end of the lap where it's so easy just to hit the curb too much, spin round. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Miami, but we've got tonight as well, which should be good. As I'm moving a bit of a lull in the session, there's a lot of these guys that are in the pits. They're going to prepare their tyres for the final run, and obviously let's not forget this season also they've only got 1 set of soft mediums and 1 set of hards for the race, so the mandatory 2 stop will have to probably involve all 3 compounds of tyre. So strategies may be a bit all over the place this season, but I think with the glitch we've got at the moment with the tyre temperatures, I think majority of drivers will probably start on the soft tyre.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of us did in P4 as well, because when I did practice, I originally started on the mediums, but then I realised the softs was quicker when you get the good getaway. So if I were you, starting on softs will be ideal. But it's not like in 2021 and 2020 where you can go a fortune on these softs, 9 laps. They only last optimally 4 or 5 laps on these softs, so you'll have to come in quite early as well. But there could be a chance for early safety cars that could bring people into good contention and have a good strategy as well, because like say there's a safety car lap 2, you can go on to hards and then you can stretch those out for a long time, and then if there's a late safety car after that, you can go on to mediums or soft, depending. As Rudy has retired from the session, he's had enough. He thinks he can't go quicker than 1:42.1. That is interesting, because I know the track can evolve quicker as well, but I think because obviously the gap's different, but we do know that Tom likes to save things to the last minute, but like we saw last season and in other leagues as well. So expect him to be quick. Obviously we got Henry R as well to be quicker, Lakitu as well. Obviously Lakitu struggled a little bit a few seasons ago, didn't need to get used to no lags. He turned it off. Now I think he's turned it back on. I don't know, actually he might have it off actually, but I think he's getting a lot better as the game cycles progress. Obviously we're used to him being a P1 champion, but now he's back in this tier. He's got a point to prove. It'll take a while for him to get back to his usual pace, but he's currently 7th at the moment. Not too shabby. I'm expecting more drivers to be in the 142s though, just like we saw with P2 as well. But don't forget, no ABS is allowed, so we could see a little bit of a crossover in between the top tiers. I think the top 2 tiers more than the bottom 2 tiers, I would say, and I think we like this crossover. Yeah. It shows the qualifying night is definitely work in that sense. There could be certain people that could be challenging for midfield in P1 if they run line only, and vice versa. So it should be interesting to see. Scotty's going to be starting his lap. Everyone's going to be starting their final laps now, except for Konzo. Konzo has decided he's oh no, Konzo's going out. He's leaving a little bit late, but Scotty's going on his lap now, and it's calm before the storm, isn't it, Jamie?
Yeah, exactly. This is happy hour. This is where the timing screens will flash around, and this is where you give it everything. And this is where you make or break it. When you push that a little bit harder, Jojo the final, and it's so you can either nail it or your lap can be over. If you outbrake yourself a turn, your lap's over. So it's a definite balancing act. But as Josh, I'll be the first guy to complete a lap. But yeah, obviously the track conditions are now in perfect condition. You've got to prepare your tyres well and just drive your best possible lap. As Josh is really aggressive there over the curbs, and which this game, the curbs. They're a bit interesting this game because some of the curbs that you couldn't touch at all on 21 you could sort of play with in this game, but some of the curbs are also quite vicious. Especially, I think one I look for is the Barcelona that final. If you win a little bit deep at the final chicane and you're on that sausage curve and your lap's gone completely, as that's obviously in this season, and you've got quite a good calendar this season. As Josh, this lap seems quite good from so far. Will this Alpha Male getting his way? No, it won't, as he's going to approach now. Come through here, looking quite nice and solid. Nice use of the track there, and I come out here, it's full throttle for about 20 seconds, and then approaching that braking zone of the bus stop chicane. And yeah, bus stop chicane is a place where you can see some overtaking as well, so that could be a good action point as well. As you know, obviously falling his battery, and where's his break point going to be? Is he going to nail it? Oh, it looks quite nice. Yeah, looks good run through there. Can he improve his time? He improves by a few attempts. He may put himself in the top 5. What can he do? He's just a third. Why slap there by Josh? A good improvement by over half a second, and wow. I think he'll be happy with that lap.
I think he will be happy with that lap, to be honest. He has been practicing a lot in the chats as well, as Tom was retired as well, so I'm guessing many people are not going to improve on the time. Now, checkered flag has dropped. Henry has improved to P2. We'll see anyone else who's going to come across the line then, as I think the first person will be to cross the line will be one of the Haas drivers of Hannes. No, he's not Hannes. He's backed off. He's invalidated. Chalkers is invalidated. Nope, he's not backed off. He's 6/100ths slower than his previous best, and he's running out of fuel anyway. So, but we'll see. He still has time to fight anyway, so we're still going to ride on board with him, as we also got an AlphaTauri on Robin Rest to complete his lap as well. Then after him will be Tico, then it'll be the 2 Ferraris, then it will be Scotty, then it will be the Red Bull of Josh, but I don't think he's going to improve him more.
Oh, he's spun it.
Spin. He's had a spin, so unfortunately that's his lap over. Obviously Hannes is backed off his run, so we're going to go on board with Robin Rest then. No, let's not go on board with Robin Rest, as he's gone into the pit lane.
Konzo next.
Konzo's next
guy
is going in.
He's validated.
So Konzo, he's 9th at the moment, only a few temps separating between him and his teammate. So it shows they got similar pace. We always like to see that, as Tico. P2. Very good as well. Very close between himself and Rudy. Everyone seems to be beating Tom's lap at least. Lakitu's spinning across the line, but Konzo could only manage 7th. Lakitu only managed 10th. It's just Scotty, I believe, to finish his lap, down in 11th position. So 143, P5. So quite close between, I think, P4 to around about P11. But it is Rudy that retired early on. No one else could beat his lap. Tom retired early on, but everyone seemed to beat his lap. So very, very impressive from Rudy. He's come more of his own on this year's game, I think.
Yeah, also I was impressed by Tico there. Obviously we didn't see that lap at all, but look at a 42.4 and only 200ths off pole. That's a very impressive lap by Tico. Henry I'm not surprised by, because Henry was definitely quick last season, as was Tom. Tom obviously didn't really get that lap in at the end. He made that mistake, but yeah, Josh as well, impressive in 6th, and yeah, it's a good grid. It's a good grid. I'm surprised Chalk's over down 10 foot. Chalk's is doing a bit better, but yeah, obviously it's only it's 11 drivers, so if you're in 11th place still in the race, especially around Spa, so yeah, it should be a good race. But yeah, Rudy and good lap by him, but I think Tico's the man there. Just picked getting out of pole, but he's definitely put a marker there. So yeah, I'm here. I'm a contender as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to say that as well. But whilst we wait for everything to go on, we have got to go through a few of our sponsors. Well, I haven't got any fancy graphics tonight because I was called in to do this last minute, so I'll have to read what's on the sheet. So our sponsors this season is Next Level Racing, sponsoring the league by providing prizes. We also got a giveaway on for Next Level Racing as well, so make sure you check out our tweet for that at 100 Racing for more information about that. Pure Sim Gear sponsored the league by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to the drivers with the most combined poles and fastest laps. So I'm sure a lot of drivers will be looking for that this season. Rudy, I think, will be one of those drivers to watch for that. And one of our new sponsors as well, Gamergoo, by providing Gamergoo samples to trophy winners. And I think that's to help stop the sweat on your hands when you race, and I actually want one of those, so I want to win a trophy this season. I'm almost certain of it. Then we got our partners, Vespertine, who support our championship prize and also provide our merch as well, if you want to check that out. And then we got ERT, Elite Racing Team, that partner the ERT Going Gets Tough award, where if you complete your pre and post race interviews, finish outside the top 3, you could be eligible for that award. And they also provide our league trophies. And we're also powered by SingGrid, where where the drivers have signed up, and we run our seasons through there, and we do the standings there too. So that has been good. We've been doing that for the last 2 seasons now, and we absolutely love it. So those are your sponsors. And obviously we have, as Jamie was saying, 10 ERT drivers. They get free seats into the league due to ERT's continued support as well. We've got a few ERT drivers in all other tiers as well, and a few ERT commentators as well. We have them all here at One Hub Racing. So, right, we are about to get started. It looks like a dry session, so they have the same luxury as most tiers, actually, apart from P3, which was very unlucky with the kind of ret slick session in a way, which got quite interesting. I was watching the end of that race. It got a bit intense. I'm glad we weren't racing in that one, but we're about to get started. I've completely forgotten, no formation lap, and I got a bit caught off guard there, as we already got Conto already off the start, as Conto has had a bit of a spin, and has had a bit of a moment as well, as Emriar has taken the lead from Rudy as they all head towards Al Rouge there, I should have known that already, as yellow flag chalk is out the race, and I think we're going to get a safety car, but we'll see, as safety car, so Rudy had to back off. Emriar has got the race lead. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, good start there by Henry. Just pinched out Rudy. I think Rudy might have had the run of him down the Kemmel straight, but obviously that safety car to come out and sort of affect it. Obviously, I didn't really see him in the back there. I saw Condell spun and Chalks out the race. Was that a bit of contact, I think? And, you know, obviously down at 10 drivers, and we expect to see most of these drivers probably pit this lap, I think. If you're on the soft tyres, you should consider pitting, I think. But a lot of guys on mediums and hards, so it's a bit more of a mix, a variety of tyre choice. We've got 3 drivers on the softs, including Chalkers, also Chalkers out the race. We've got 5 guys in mediums, 2 guys in the hards. So yeah, real mix of tyres, and so that's quite interesting of a strategy. But yeah, if you're at the back on them softs, it's a no-brainer to pit, I think. I'm not sure what Henry would do though. Will he stay out? But I think the guys at the back on the softs will definitely pit.
Yeah, definitely, and I would have to say I'm a bit surprised with the mix of strategy. I thought more people would have gone on softs. I thought by learning from P4 and P2 earlier that had completely dry races, I thought they would have done that. But I know some drivers want to go for something different. It is a 2-stop race, and for F122 you only have 1 set of mediums, 1 set of hards. You have pretty much all the softs to your disposal, but if the drivers have gone out all 4 sets of softs, that's pretty much all them use. So I know some people, a lot of people going in actually. Henry's in, Tico had no choice to stay out, he's on hards. So the ones who have started on hards are pretty messed up. Maybe Tom's going in though, so he's gone for a brave call. Yeah. And Conzo's going to go in, so only the top 4 has stayed out.
You can go, you come in on hards, but you can also come in change major. You can go back on them hard tires later in the race. So yeah, you can go back to the high. Yeah, so that could be a good one. That could be a good strategy. But obviously, you will have to run a set of softs. That will have to happen with 2 stops. Oh no, maybe not. No, Tom won't. Tom won't, because Tom will be alright. He can go back on hard tyres. And we've seen these few guys comment on that, how good that race tyre the hard is. It does take a few laps to bed in, but once the tyre gets bedded in, I think it is a really good race tyre. And unlike on previous games, it has to be really good tyre workmanship game. But the hard tyre is a workable tyre in a 2-stop race where it wasn't on previous games.
Yeah, I think it obviously takes a while to get the tyres up to temperature, and obviously since the tyre glitch as well could come into effect, and that's why the formation lap was off to begin with. So everyone starts on 70-degree tyres, and I think I got caught out by the start today because I had a really good start, but then I underestimated how cold the tyres actually were, and I misjudged my braking point in turn 1 and almost took someone out. So they got to be careful.
Yeah.
Don't do a me. Don't do a me in turn 1. Just saying, as we've had a few people gone off in a safety car. That's very weird. So with most people pitting, that's their 1 stop completed out of the way as well, and that will mean that they could stretch out either the mediums or the hards for a little bit longer as well. Rudy's gone on to softs, so we'll see what he could do. And obviously softs only last about 5 laps, as you were saying, so that could be quite intense as well. We saw in real life as well the race only go for 2 laps in real life last year, but luckily this is going on a bit longer as well. Many other things have happened around here. Senna and Mansell collided here at 1987 for the lead of the race, and none of them apologised as well. We saw Michael Schumacher made his debut around here, qualified 7th, believe it or not, but his race was over due to a broken clutch. But I think he got his first win around here in Spa, which was quite good as well. So yeah, plenty of memorable moments around here. The safety car will probably stay out for 1 more lap, I think, but we are seeing the pit stop strategy come in, but obviously it's a 2-stop, not a 1-stop. So Tico will lead. Henry R has spun through towards the bus stop chicane there. That's a weird place to bin it. Hopefully he's got no damage, but at least his tyre is warm now.
Yeah, Rudy's in. He's in. A few guys in doing their 2 stops already, so they're gonna try and go a set of hards to the end of the race. Maybe that's what they're thinking there. So yeah, that could maybe work out. But yeah, as I was on board with Tico earlier, and on approach of Piron, Tico almost ran to back a safety car. It was millimetres. So yeah, Tico's really pushing his safety car. I think if this was a real life driver, if Tico's telling that safety car to get on, he thinks the safety car's going too slow. I think he wants to go a bit quicker.
Yeah, I think, it's kind of like Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel in Baku, like, move out the way. And there was that famous brake check as well, which caused a few feathers. And if Twitter is like what it was this year and last year, then it would have probably been a little bit more chaos, to tell you the truth, at the moment. So we're on for your order. Tico's leading, Robin West in 2nd, Josh in 3rd, Scotty 4th, Konzo in 5th position. And don't forget, the season will just start next week, and we've got 8 races on the calendar, short on calendar this season, so people have got to be on pretty much on the get-go early on. If they have a bad race at the start, consider themselves out of the championship before it's even begun, which will be a bit of a shame. So we'll go for the calendar now. We've got Miami first, then we've got Austria for round number 2, then we've got Brazil round number 3, Monza round number 4, Hungary number 5, Spain, and we got Austin, Texas, and Bahrain. The only one I hate on the calendar is Austin and Spain. Every other track is a nice calendar, but all the tracks are very nice to commentate on. So it should be interesting. So the Aston Martin safety car, Mailander, is going to lead the field away through Stabilo 1, and they're going to go through Paul Frey. And I think safety car should be in, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be. The pack's bunched up. We've had 2 laps of the pack bunched up. So yeah, it's in this lap. So yeah, now how will Tico get off with these? He's got to really vigorously warm them tyres, because I was on the hard tyres when I said car restart. I had absolutely no grip for about half a lap. So yeah, no wonder Tico's really has to just really super aggressively warm his tyres. Even then, it might not be enough. As I believe Robin West fancies an opportunity to take the lead here. He knows if he can get a run on Tico, he should be able to get through into the last horse. So yeah, it was obviously we brought in a rule last season where the cars cannot go side by side on the restart, but they're behaving well here. Whereas Tico's got plenty of room for safety car. Safety car's just about to enter the pit lane now, so Tico can go whenever he feels like it.
Yeah, there's no rule when you can go, as long as you go from now and you don't accelerate then slow down, pretty much. So we'll see if anyone doesn't follow the rules. But Tico is going away right now, and he's trying to pull away. I think he had a good restart. He's already 7 tenths clear of Robin West, but Robin West has got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. I don't think he did anything wrong, because I think Josh was behind him, So that was weird. If it was obviously a real race, it will definitely get removed. I'm almost certain of it. But anyway, we're about to get underway once again as Scotty is getting a nice one heading towards El Rouge then, as we've seen quite a few instances there
Josh
in previous races. Josh got a warning as well. Hopefully that's not triple warning like I got in my P4 race earlier on. We'll see Scotty, is he going to try and lunge it up the inside into that comma? Real heavy overtaking opportunity. No, he does not, but Henry R's going to do it though. Down the inside of Conzo. Nicely timed from him. He's now up a position up into P5. 3 drivers have got time penalties out of the whole top 10 at the moment, and we've got Tom that's dropped all the way down into 10th, so his race has not gone too well, because obviously the likes of a few other people have pitted. The only ones that haven't are the ones near the front. So Scotty doing well to hold his line at the moment as well. They're going to hope for no more safety cars so they can plan their 2-stop strategies effectively. But Tico's doing a great job holding on to Robin West for first place.
Yeah, great reset there. And I think what happened there with Robin West, I think Josh may have momentarily got ahead because the worst sort of been very close, and I think that's what happened there. So that's unfortunate for Robin West, because that obviously that penalty gets served at his next pit stop. So if that was a real life league race, he wouldn't get removed anyway, because it's a penalty you serve in the pit stop, and you cannot remove penalties that get served in the pit stop. As Scott, I've been impressed by Scotty on this first lap on the hard tyres. He's definitely got him into a good window, and he's howling all the back of Josh for half a lap, but he wasn't using the ERS on the back straight, so I think he's saving his battery for maybe a bit later on, as Chico, no surprise, setting the fastest lap. As we've got Rudy at the back here, he's got the side by side with Hannes, he's got the move done into the La Source, and look, we've got Tom's fighting on the outside. Tom fancies a move on the Haas, and it's going to be 2 positions lost for Hannes possibly. He's going to go side by side and approach El Rouge, but Tom has got the move done. Now can Hannes? No, Hannes has lost some momentum there, as Tom might have run here at Rudy. These two, obviously, two of the quickest drivers. They've done both their stops, so they're hoping for no more safety cars, and they're hoping to see some overtaking as they both get moved on the Haas. And these two are 2 drivers to keep an eye out for the rest of the race, as they're praying for no more safety cars.
I think I was in that boat as well in P4 as well, because I went onto the hards early on and I was hoping I was stretched out for the softs, but we had, I think, 3 safety cars, which wasn't too bad compared to the other tiers, as Hannes has got a 3-second time penalty, another one I believe, so that is 2 for him as well, and DRS will come play a factor, and ERS I think has been more powerful in this game with the DRS as well, with the ERS management. So if they manage it right, then this is going to be very, very good for the likes of Scotty to try and close in as well. And don't forget, some of these are new drivers. They're not used to how the runnings of the league work and don't know the pace, whereas some of these drivers like Tom Rudy, they are used to driving alongside each other on a regular basis. So we will expect to know their racecraft as well. And we know that they're obviously a bit cleaner, these guys as well, because this is the top tier, the pinnacle of One Hub Racing. It used to be the pinnacle tier, but now it's called P1. Line only, no ABS is allowed, as we've got some moves going on in the background as well, as Chico's got a 3-second time penalty, but he's pulled the gap by 2 seconds. So, and I think I was speaking to a few of the P4 drivers. I was speaking to Bazza after the race, and he enjoyed the hard tyres more than the mediums. I wonder if Chico's having the same predicament. I wonder if he's like Bazza and is liking the hards better than the mediums.
Henry's got a good one here, but I think it's going to be the DRS train, so I've got an opportunity. But yeah, I felt that in my race, where I felt like I finally got us hards into a good position, and would you know it, the safety car came out, so obviously had to get off them tyres. But yeah, it for me, it felt like I took 2 or 3 laps for it to. As Scotty has a big moment there, and that allows Henry to get through. And yeah, Scotty did well to hold it, actually, not lose too much time. But yeah, Henry pounced on that, and he's up into 4th place, and he's obviously the lead of the 1 stoppers, and yeah, he's not too far behind Josh now. As a Robin West is starting to struggle a little bit. I was in Boulder in the previous lap, and he's struggling a bit for traction, and Josh may fancy an overtake here in the next few laps.
Yeah, I think he's going to play it safe. A few people won't go for moves yet because they will be saving their ERS and being a bit patient. So people may think, look, go for the move now. No, they're just saving their battery when they really need it, because you don't want to push too much and then realise you don't have ERS for the more crucial moves towards the end of the race, because on this game, if you use too much of it, it's hard to recharge. In places like Austria, Monza, Miami, I think one of those tracks as well, where you can use too much ERS too early, and then you have to manage a lot more in the races. Robin is in the pit, so he's going to go on to a set of hard tyres, I think, for this next stint, and then stretch out on the set of softs towards the end. But he's used one different tyre compound. He could choose to go on if the safety car comes late, however, like say lap 14, he can go on to his 7 mediums he started on, and that should be absolutely fine. But I believe Robin Rest is 75 seconds, so that's not good. But he comes in onto a set of the hard tyres. Hopefully no safety car for him. That's one of his first stop out of the way, but he's all the way down in P10.
Oh, Tom had a bit of a moment coming out of Radion, and that got him a penalty there. I think he was winning very close back of Rudy and got a little bit unsettled and ran a little bit wide, and that gave Tom a 3-second time penalty. So we've got 4 guys who have got corner cut penalties, and we're only on lap 7. This track is a killer for track limits.
Yeah, I think we found that out in our tier as well. Quite a lot of people got 3-second time penalties as well. I think this is more track limit heavy than last year's game, I think, due to the curbs being more deadly and the new tyre model as well. The handling has changed quite a bit in this game cycle as well, and they've only had about a week and a bit to get used to as well. But obviously they did get used to it in qualifying night as well, and there may be certain tracks where they'll be good and certain tracks they might be bad. And don't forget, we haven't seen their race pace yet. We only saw their qualifying type pace last week, so who knows, it could be good at qualifying, it could be rubbish when it gets to the race, as Tico 3.4 seconds over Josh, but he does have that penalty contend with at the moment. We're riding on board with Rudy, had to close it in onto Lakito, still saving that ERS. Same with Lakito. They're saying that Rudy is actually pushing his ERS battery deployment to close in on the 2 Ferraris. We saw this in our tier as well, where both me and King was working together, as Josh is going into the pits. I'm surprised that Konzo hasn't gone in though. Maybe he's just staying out to help his teammate.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, obviously trying to work together, a bit of DRS, but Lakita was actually out of DRS of his teammate, so Rudy, if he gets a good run for Rudy, he may fancy an overtake here, as Lakita was going to be a bit vulnerable. Let's see how he does. Lakita was struggling early on, and he goes wide. Wow, he definitely cut the corner there. He definitely missed. That was a definite corner cut there from Lakita, and that allowed him to stay ahead of Rudy. And well, I know Lakita is a big Alonso fan, and that's sort of a tactic we've seen from Fernando Alonso in the past, where he knows, obviously Alonso's a really wise driver. As he got to shoot Tom, he's going to send it inside of Rudy. Is it? No, he backs out of it. Oh, that was very close. I thought he's going to lunge up there, but that's not really that's quite a difficult corner overtake. It's off camber, and it's so easy just to run a little bit too wide there. And I think Tom is looking really good. He's got Henry spun, I believe. Henry has spun, and he's used the reset track option. He's back on the track, but Henry's got no wing, so Henry's had a crash somewhere. He's going to have to pit now, and yeah, that's Henry. Henry was obviously the leader of the one stoppers, but now he's going to have to stop, and now he's on the hard tyres. He's going to have to try and somehow make a set of mediums last end of the race, which I don't think
unless it's a safety car, it's not.
Yeah, unless it's a safety car. Yeah, no, but obviously on the recent update, they did make wing damage a bit more of a punishment, because previously in the game I thought the wing damage was quite good for the patch, but I think now it's not more difficult to drive wing damage. But Henry still carries a good speed though. He's going to pit, but yeah, he's going to push really hard and just try and make the best of this race now, as he runs very deep in the bus up chicane. No surprise there. The Hassa Hannes does take a board in action. He's in the pits, and he almost crashing the pit wall. So as he gets a P penalty, I think we might see retirement. Yeah.
Race. So he decided to call it a day, unfortunately. But he has retired in the pits though, so hopefully no trouble there. But I think we've seen on this game, I think it caused more trouble rather than not at the moment. So we're down to 9 runners, as I think we've got Tom having a battle with Rudy. We've got Lakito as well having a battle with his teammate Konzo.
Round outside.
Fight for it round the outside. Let's see if they can hold it heading through Brussels. Tom went off the track there as well. Will he let him through? I don't know. A bit of an argy-bargy there, but I'm sure they will be fighting it anyway. I think it's no harm done between the pair of them, because it is a pre-season race after all. But
oh no, Tom loses it. He's out of the race. Wow!
Huge crash. He's been it by himself, and no name. Tom is out of the race, and we got another safety car, and there's huge bits.
Josh is spun as well.
Josh has spun as well, but he's probably had a bit of a saving grace out at the moment. Tom has left the session with absolute disgrace. And you know what this has done? Well, this has brought, well, quite a few people into contention. If you haven't stopped, like Tico, Scotty and Conzo, you're back in this race.
Yeah, Tico's got... I wonder if Tico may come in, put a set of softs on, and then come in again and put a set of mediums on. I wonder if that's what he may be thinking. Because I was mentioning early on, that if this happens in races and you start on a hard tyre and there's a track where softs aren't that good for instance, like Hungary, for example, which I bet the soft tyres will be awful around there. I think a few guys may do this if the safety comes out at the right time. So yeah, we'll see what Tico does. But if I was Tico, that's what I'd be thinking.
Yeah.
But the softs aren't too bad around Spa compared to other tracks, though. That he can get some mileage out of it.
They felt quite nice, but after 5 laps on them that we were doing at the end of the race, it just started to die. It's Josh has spun again. On those, he's only pitted on those hards as well, and it takes a while for those hards to get up to temperature.
Has Josh got some sort of wheel issue? Because he just keeps spinning. I don't know.
He keeps spinning. He's got front wind damage, so he has to come in.
Oh yeah.
So he has to come into the pit. So he's lost a bit of downforce.
It's a safety car. He doesn't have to push too hard. He's a safety car. He can just back out of it.
He needs to slow down as well. The Delta.
Yeah.
We saw the Delta glitch in P3 earlier on with I can't remember what it was. I think it was Liam 1-3 that had the Delta glitch, and he got disqualified for it, which was quite weird. Which I hopefully doesn't happen to Josh. So if I was Josh, I would keep going because he was still
I think he has a wheel issue because he was a bit weird. As Tico is on the soft tyre, so we'll see if he does pit.
He's followed you.
We're down to 7 drivers, so hopefully these guys do stay in the race. You don't want to race where nobody finishes, which I don't think's ever happened before. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really. But
shame about the turnout. But you gotta live and you learn. Take advantage of it because these drivers will have experience of driving against each other in the league. Whereas next week, when we start, there will be people that have the disadvantage as well. So hopefully we'll have the turnout next week, please, because otherwise yourself and Liam are gonna be ending up counting sheep. We know.
To be fair, the majority of drivers did do the correct thing. They did sign out on a sim grid, and the pre-season race isn't mandatory attendance. So I think we should see higher numbers next week.
Definitely.
There's a lot of interest in the team contracts, for example, and then the qualifying night. So yeah, I think we should see for sure higher numbers next week. But yeah, I've got safety car, and will the safety car come in this lap? I think it will stay out for one more. I think it normally stays out for 2 laps at least, so I think we'll have another lap of safety car. As Tico,
oh jeez, I nearly did that in practice the other day where I hit the safety car.
Yeah, this safety car, it feels like this safety car is actually going very slow. I don't know. It feels like the safety car's going
it's not
slow.
Going at the speed that we were expecting.
What lap times they did a 3-minute lap time on the first safety car. I think this safety car is going a lot slower than
Mylander, go faster, please. Go faster because we've got a race to get on with. As I think Tico's going to lead the next safety car again. Safety car is going to be in for one more lap.
Just from my feeling, this safety car just look like it's going very slow. Tico's in.
Has he got damage?
Yeah, he's going to get rid of them soft. No, he's on the softs, so he's going to get rid of the softs, I think.
Good idea. Go on to medium tyres. You're not going to lose out really because you're going to lose grip after 5 laps and you'll lose more by staying out for an extra few laps than if you come in and get your mediums done early. So we'll get to the end. So that is very smart for Tico. That's probably what I would have done if I was in his shoes. So I think he was a bit more smart than me because I could have done that in P4 earlier. But I chose not to. But he has. He's come out in 7th. Obviously, there's only 7 runners, unfortunately. But hopefully these drivers can still give us a good race. We know, obviously, Conzo can battle with anyone. Obviously, 2 ERT guys as well. 3 ERTs, 5th, 6th and 7th. That's going to be interesting as well. And also, we've got to pick our driver of the day later on as well. I'm thinking of a question. But we obviously, it won't count towards the stats, unfortunately. That's where I tend to get all my drive of the days is through pre-season and it doesn't count. Which is never a good thing, but at least you're thought of anyway. So, Scotty with a time penalty. At the moment, Conzo will be your net race leader of the race, and Rudy a net P2.
Yeah. but I think Tico's maybe the fastest guy left in this race, and with Rudy maybe, and I think Tico is 7th place. I wouldn't count Tico out for the race. I think he'll still win the race from 7th. I think any of these 7 can win the race. The guys with penalties will have to have some, help, but yeah, I think. As Conzo, out to Conzo, he's obviously kept out of trouble. He's sort of after that spin at the start of the race, he's stuck in there. He's in 2nd place, and he's got a great opportunity to maybe lead this race. But safe car should come in this lap, and hopefully we don't lose any more drivers.
Please don't, because otherwise.
Reminds me a bit of the 2005 US Grand Prix at the moment.
Yes.
So hopefully nobody else does drop out.
At least they didn't revolt, did they? At least they're actually racing.
Yeah.
So, I think safety car's going to come in now. It's going, I think, at a much better speed now. Because it is coming in. There we go. It is coming in this lap, folks. So, fasten your seatbelt. We got Scotty on the mediums, Conzo on the hards. We've got Lakitu and Rudy on the mediums, Robin on the hards, and Hannes and Tico on the mediums. One dude's still got to do their mandatories. Well, the only one that's got to do their mandatory is Robin West. Everyone else has done their 2 stops. So, realistically, some of these guys could get to the end. Tico's done his. He's only in 7th. So, basically, any of those 7 can win this race. That's how close it is. So, Scotty then, what is he going to do? Because he hasn't led a safety car. This is our 3rd safety car, by the way. We already had 2, I think. Actually, no, this is our 2nd. Scrap that. So, obviously, Tico out to pit under this safety car. So, here comes Scotty then.
Gone.
He's got the run really early. I think Conzo was caught napping there. And Scotty was like, thank you very much. I will take that lead and get rid of that deficit. So here we go then. Scotty leads the field away. And look at that. He's falling away already. As Tico has already got past Hannes on the set of the medium. So I wonder if Hannes has struggled a little bit there. As they make their way towards their source.
Yes, let him through. Because you'll take some before start finish line. So yeah.
Good point.
Side by side here.
Side by side into our Rouge. I think I saw someone almost go side by side in our Rouge in my race as well, but luckily they're backed off at the moment. As Hannes
look at Rudy. Rudy's got to run.
Speed. He's got the speed heading towards Lecom. Kemmel straight. There you go. Hannes is going to go to the
2 Ferraris got the block though.
Oh yeah, we've got Lakitu and Conzo. So many battles happening at the moment. We've got Rudy as well. Both Ferraris, I think, working together, but Rudy has got Conzo. And could he get Lakitu as well into Brussels? This is, even though we only have 7 drivers, this is a great battle between these guys.
Yeah, I thought the Ferrari guys were on the bottom road there, but but Rudy managed to slip through, and Lakitu did well. So Conzo lost 2 places in 2 laps, but Conzo I think did help his teammate stay ahead of Rudy. So I think that was good teamwork there by the Ferrari team. It helped Lakitu stay, but Lakitu's got 6 seconds worth of penalties, so he's gonna drop down the order. And all this is helping Scotty build up a nice good lead. And Scotty he's showing some good race pace tonight, and obviously Rudy you need to get past Lakitu quick and just try and keep within that 3-second gap of Scotty. You didn't want Scotty to get too far ahead, as I think Lakitu is maybe struggling a little bit in comparison to Rudy.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Because I think that Rudy is starting to close in a little bit more. But once we see the DRS open, I think that is where we'll probably see Rudy on the attack as well. And I think he wants to push when he has enough battery. If he knows he's low on battery, he won't push too much, because otherwise you're going to lose so much power when you go on to 10%, especially on the straight. If you're on 10% on the straight, then if anyone is higher than that, got ERS, then say goodbye. Yeah, definitely. So here comes Rudy then in the McLaren, driving as, I don't know who he's driving for. Probably Lando Norris, channeling it in, and Lando Norris potentially as well, who's doing quite well in the team. I don't think he's going to have the capability to get past, but I think next up with the DRS, that's where he's really going to push. Let's go on board with Tico. He can't get past Robin West, unfortunately, but bearing in mind these penalties will come into play towards the end of this Grand Prix. Don't forget though, after this race you can watch the other tiers that happened tonight. We had P4 on Twitch, will be uploaded later on today. Then we got P3 that happened earlier, which was pretty much a kind of like a wet track, dry tyre challenge until the end, which was quite entertaining. As we're seeing Tico
on the outside
for a lunge into 001. Can he hold it on the right hand side? He's going to go for the switchback maybe. What a move from him. I have to say that was nicely timed from him there in that Aston Martin up to 5th place. No penalties as well. But is it too little too late to get past Konzo? Only time will tell. He's already catching, look. He's already 7 tenths up on Konzo, and he's using his battery to follow Fett as well. So looks like Tika has some good pace here.
Yeah, and DRS will be there the next lap. So yeah, Tico's actually only 4 seconds off the lead. He's only 2 seconds off the net lead at the moment on Rudy. But yeah, Robin West was struggling with a bit of understeer in Piron, and that did allow Tico just to get through. And Tico now on the charge, and look, he's almost pushing Konzo through La Source. As we got Rudy also getting a bit closer to Lakito. Now the DRS in play, I think we may see a bit more overtaking down the Kemmel Straight as Lakito has a nice run for El Rouge though, and it's going to be. I think Rudy's maybe a little bit too far back there. I don't think about as Lakito does defend thin air, as Tico does get past Konzo. That's quite easy for Tico, and now all of a sudden Tico and Rudy are next to each other on the track. Because you've got at the back, we've got Hannes getting the move done on Robin West, and Robin West tries to fight back, but Hannes closed the door, and Robin West is down 7th place, and Hannes up to 6th.
Yep, so I think a few movers and shakers at the moment, and they're all keeping it clean. I think it's starting to spread out a little bit more. And,
sorry, Konzo spun it, and he's in the wall.
That was almost a replica to what we saw Tom, but the other side. But how on
got
earth did he say that?
Have we?
VSC.
Oh, we've got a safety car. No safety car.
Safety car. Okay. Oh, what would you do? What would you? It's too early for softs. If it happened 3 laps later, they would have gone for softs.
I tell you what, if you got a fresh set of mediums left, I'll chuck mediums on. But I think everyone's used to mediums though. So, yeah, Konzo obviously have to pit. You have to change your wings. So
definitely.
So we've got Lakito spun it as well. So both Ferraris spun it on the same map. Is this track? Seems a lot of drivers are struggling on this track for some reason tonight. I don't know if it's the lobby or what, but we've seen a lot of mistakes tonight.
Yeah, I think it's just the nature of the track, and plus people are a bit rusty. For some drivers, they haven't done a league race before, as a few people coming in. Surely not soft. They can't last 7 laps. But they can. But this is P1.
Yeah, these guys are the creme de la creme. So somebody can make it work. They can. And look, fortunately for them though, the safety car is waiting at the first sector, so they're not going to have to drive too far to catch up the safety car, which will help them save the tyres a little bit more. But yeah, I still think it's a couple of laps too early. I think.
Yeah.
If you can manage your tyres though, as Hannes is on 2 lap loads soft, so I think Hannes may be struggling a bit. But I think the rest they could do it, I suppose, but. You're going to have to really just nurse tyres and maybe just bed them in the first few laps after the safety car comes in. Not push too hard, not have all the sweets at once, as Martin Brundle would say. But yeah, you've got to really just take it nice and calm.
You've got to take the risk, and I think I've seen in many social races in with no assists or even line only, they can stretch those softs to the end of the race. They know what they're doing. That's why they're in P1. That's why they're when I see them in leagues like PSG and WOR, they want to stretch those tyres to the limits. We can't do it in our tiers because we can't manage our tyres effectively, but obviously they had the practice, they had the time, they've done a lot of Belgian races, so I think if any drivers could do it, it's these drivers. And with Tico staying out, he's going to be left for dust, but watch out for him towards the end of the race where those mediums
may come back to it. Yeah, may come back into it, and yeah, it'll be interesting though, as the safety car I think will come in next lap, and both Ferraris are back in it, so they're both, well, a bit weird to have a safety car caused by a spin and debris that wasn't even on the track. That was a bit bizarre because the damage was right next to the wall, so it's a bit unusual for a spin like that to cause a safety car. But here we are, and we're going to have a little sprint session towards the end of the race, and
that's exciting.
Yeah. There'll be no holds barred now. Obviously, everybody's got full battery, so everyone's back up to full charge. And you still, even though there's short time left, you still got to watch out for that battery. I still don't think they'll be going for it too much on the first 2 laps. I think when DRS comes in play, that's when we may see the elbows come out a little bit more.
Yeah, I think since it's going to be a sprint to the finish, I think they want to obviously finish because there's only 7 runners, but the end is in sight. They can see P1 closer than ever, and even though it's pre-season, they still want to win to show, right, I want to be the one to be on the top, and I want to be the one to beat. But there may be other people that are thinking, like, if I don't win, it doesn't matter. That means less pressure off my back, and you could really start to focus on the season ahead. Maybe there was a few sandbags in the other tiers, maybe because they don't want to show their pace early on, because otherwise the other drivers will know what you're capable of. They'll know what your racing style is, and they'll probably try to do better. We don't know. Well, obviously we know these drivers are pushing to their full potential as well, because they're treating it as like an actual league race. Because at the end of the day, this is practice for when, because I know I'm commentating on a Belgian race next week, so for some of them it's a practice for them for next week in a race. This is kind of like a warm-up race as well. But lap 16, I don't know who's going to be winning this one. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win this race. And I know Dexter will be rooting for his ERT boys, of course, who are one of our partners here at One Hub Racing, who are sponsoring our trophies, and also partner in the ERT Go Against Tough Award as well, which any one of our drivers can win if they complete their pre- and post-race interviews starting next week, attend every race, and finish outside the top 3. So we've got Robin Rest Hannes, who are still in this race from ERT. So they're hoping to represent the team well.
Yeah, and Tico's all the race leaders. Tico, every time he's leading this race, he's always
he's
so
ERT,
close to safety car. He's so close to safety car. It almost looks like from the same team of the paint job of the Aston Martin safety car. But yeah, he's really just harrying this safety car. He does not like being behind the safety car, I don't think. He wants to get going. We'll be going, I think, the end of this lap. And the restart pictures for Tico's point of view on these mediums, you have to work a little bit hard to get them with the temperature, and obviously the older tyres as well, so the tyre delta will be quite massive on these first few laps. So I think Tico will be trying his hardest to keep cars behind, but I think it might be a bit of an impossible job. He'll just hope not to lose too much time, and as you mentioned earlier, just come back into it as the races progress. Well, will Scotty had that great restart for lead last time. Now can Scotty preempt what Tico's going to do, unlike Console last time, who really got caught napping?
Yeah, I think they probably learnt from the last safety car, to be honest, because it's same conditions. Obviously, the track temperature, I think, is pretty much Hannah's got a 5-second penalty for Rudy collision. That is interesting. Yeah. Now, you can't remove it.
Too close.
We can't remove it because there's no stewards tonight. No stewards tonight. Stewarding starts next week. Now, you can't go double file in the safety car, so Tico's second safety car restart of the afternoon, well, of the evening anyway, here in the UK. So here he goes then. Not the best of restarts, but still pretty decent, but Scotty, I think, got away up the line quicker, so he responded a bit more as they head towards their source, 2 of them pulling away from everybody else. But I was expecting Scotty to get that better launch because of him being on the grippiest tyres, on the soft tyres, because you've got to get the move done now, because otherwise Tico will be flying towards the end with the more durable tyres, and it's 6 tenths, well, almost 7 tenths quicker, so we'll see what he could do now into the Camel Straight. Look at that, Tico's already pulling away.
Yeah, he's got the speed. Yeah, he's using a bit of his battery to defend, but he's got enough there, well enough, and as you mentioned, as Hannes gets another penalty, but yeah, as Scotty just doesn't seem to have the, maybe he didn't work tag hard enough on the we saw that Tico they were really aggressive on the warm up, and it's worth a treat for him there. And the longer he can stay in the lead, the easier it will get towards the end of the race. These guys will probably about 2 or 3 laps to go, their pace will probably drop off. So Tico's in a really good position. I think Rudy's the guy Tico's got to worry about. As Scotty's got a good run there. Scotty's definitely had a much better second half lap than the first half.
Yeah.
As Tico, you could tell Tico for traction, it's not the best on them mediums, and there may be opportunity for Scotty to maybe get a move done in the bus stop chicane, but he runs a little bit wide there. That's going to lose him time again, but he's going to be in the slipstream, and this may be a chance here for Tico to take the lead. As it got a spinner, I believe that's Hannah, who's out the race. Down to 6, and we've got another safety car.
This is the 4th one.
No.
Is it 4th?
Yeah, I don't think last season in the top tier, I don't think I had 4 safety cars all season, and now in the pre-season race of the P1 tier, we've had 4 safety
And
cars.
with less drivers as well.
Yeah, it's the safety car does seem a bit trigger happy tonight, but
I think every tier has had safety cars. I think
Yeah.
no one have got away with. I think I didn't watch P2 because obviously I had to do this, but I know P3 had quite a few. I think P3 had 4. What did we have? In P4 we had
3.
We had one at the right at the start. We had one round about lap 8, and then we had one towards the end.
This Robin West in the pits. This might be Mastrug. He's come in. He's got a fresh set of softs.
Yep.
He's chucked them on, and obviously I don't know if any of these guys have any more softs left because obviously they had qualifying. You only get 4 sets of qualifying in the race. So I think the best of these guys only got used softs, but I think you got a slightly fresher set. It's worth pitting now, especially if it likes Lakita and Konzo, and Robin West will catch the pack up, and Robin West he may have a position where he may. In the last 2 or 3 laps of the race, these softs will easily get to the end now for him, and Robin West will be a guy to look out for towards the end of this race. I don't think we'll get any more safety cars now when this one comes in, thankfully.
Yes, so here we're about to go. I think it's going to be a final sprint to the finish. I don't think there's going to be DRS. I literally don't think there's going to be DRS.
It'll come in on lap 20.
I don't know.
We might have the final lap might be DRS. It depends if it comes in on. No, if it comes in lap 19, then we'll get DRS. If it comes in next lap, then we'll get DRS for lap, I think. But if it comes in lap 20, no, we won't have DRS.
No.
It should come in. It should come in this lap, but it's not gonna. It'll come in lap after, I think.
I just had a word from Lars Lawson in the chat, who raced in P2, I believe. They had 4. So, I think P3 had 4, P2 had 4, P1 had 4. We almost had 4, to be fair, because there was a few things that could have caused a safety car, but didn't.
Yeah, I think maybe something we may have to look into, I think, because...
Yeah,
we like the safety cars, but 4 is a 4 is a bit too many. So it may be something we may have to look into. I don't know.
Yeah, we may have to look. It may be track dependent. We don't know. But if it happens in Miami next
Konzo's
week,
Konzo's in.
Intriguing.
No, he might as well pit now and put a fresher set on. He's at the back. He might as well just go for it. You know, he got nothing to lose. Well, he lost the place to Robin West, but you might as well just come in and put another set of softs on. Now he's got 1 lap old softs, so they're much better set. And yeah, Robin West and Konzo, they may be guys to look out for. So we've got 6 left. So hopefully we don't lose any more. There's Tico on these mediums now. Nice safety car does help like Rudy and Lakita. I think they'll be fine for tyres now, and helps Tico as well, because obviously them softs go through a heat cycle, and it won't be as easy for the likes of Scotty and Rudy to have a run. So yeah, this safety car, I think, it's brought them back together again. But I think it's made the race. I think it sort of killed the race a little bit, because obviously then it's been interesting. Because I think Scotty was about to overtake Tico. It felt like there before the safety car came out, and would have had in the race Tico coming back. So Scotty's now you just go for it now in this restart. You don't think about battery anything. You just send it now in this restart.
Yeah.
There's only 3 laps to go after when this comes in. So you can't wait 5 laps for DRS. You got to just send it now. And I won't be surprised if there's another DNF coming up, because these guys are pushing really hard, and this track does punish mistakes. So I hope not, but yeah, it's Konzo. I think Konzo might win this race. You know, I'm gonna put it out there. I think Konzo's gonna win this race.
Yes, and I've just had a notification that my McDonald's food is going to be there in 6 minutes. I ordered it for 10:20, and it's coming in 6 minutes, so that's weird. But so if I have to drop out to get my delivery and then come back for a bit, then I will. But we are about to go green, so are we not going green? Oh, careful, Tico. When the safety car's caught now.
It's in.
It's in
yeah,
now.
he's done that a few times. He's really pushing that safety car, and he obviously knows where it's going to be because he's avoiding contact every single time. But if I was him, I'd maybe be a little bit more. I wouldn't be pushing too hard because it's so easy. You can just lose your wing, and that safety car in these games, it's just like almost indestructible if you hit it. It's you that gets damaged, not the safety car.
Yeah. And I think I remember in F1 2013, if you hit the safety car, you get banned. Luckily, you as in disqualified from the session. Luckily, you don't get that here in F1 22, because otherwise it would have been a disaster. I would like to see someone try it. Scotty, Jesus Christ, he's going a bit too fast on the safety car.
He's got a penalty for that as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is interesting. We about to go green, green, green for the final time, as there's going to be no more safety cars, I don't think. They're all so close on this restart. And look at this. Rudy's got a brilliant run into the final corner then. And is he going to get P2 from Scotty? No, not quite. I think Scotty stayed in P2, but he's got Lakita though, Rudy. Tico is allowed to lead the field away. Is he going to keep P1 from these guys? Because some of these softs are starting to run out. As Jamie was saying, watch out for Robin Rest and Conzo, who pitted a few laps ago. Those softs will be absolutely loving their life at the moment. But when we did our race, the softs were dying right now. So let's see what they could do. Scotty is closing in onto the back of Tico for lap 20. He can't get it into Lecom as well. Robin Rest the same. He can't get past. They're saving their battery once more. It's going to get very intense towards the end. And I think I'm all for it. This is very exciting. I hope we get to see more of this when we have more drivers next week in Miami. But we've got 3 laps to go. The DRS will be on the final lap as well. Scotty's closing in. He's doing very well on 4 lap on tyres. But don't forget, reduced pace on the safety car. They have a bit more life in them compared to the safety car came earlier.
Yeah, Scotty also got another 5-second penalty. I believe Rudy did overtake Scotty really for start finish straight. Rudy did let him back free, but I believe that gave Scotty another 5-second penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. So Scotty's on a lot of penalties now. He's out of position to win the race on the timing screen, but he can win it on track. And win a race on track, it feels good. He's using not a battery here, as I believe we've got Lakita who's spun around, but we'll keep a focus on Scotty, who's got a good run. These guys are both on the battery. Scotty's used a lot more battery than Tico's really managed that battery quite well, as Lakita has left the session, but Scotty's gonna break quite nicely the bus off chicane here now. What fight has he got on these softs? Who they'll be starting to feel a bit of the strain now. They'll be starting to go off a little bit as the front 3 have left the back guys in the wake. I believe Lakita spun may affect these 2 guys at the back. Because look at Rudy, he's just like a prey there sitting. He's seeing these 2 fighting. He knows if Scotty gets through, then Rudy could be on for the race win here.
Yep, because Rudy has no penalties, Scotty does. And we do know that Rudy, I think Rudy was the one who got pole position. He thinks it's going to be a slam dunk, but it's not. He hasn't had it easy so far. And if he just keeps within those 2, he should be fine. But you can see his softs are starting to wear off a little bit. But Scotty's doing all he can to try and get rid of that deficit. Tico is hoping and praying that Scotty can't get past as well. Robin West is up into 4th place now. And will he do enough, or will it just be too little?
Scotty's for the moment.
Oh,
Scotty's on the grass there a little bit. He's out the race. Without a 4 runners, I think. Has left the session. And Scotty, have you not noticed? Scotty's ERS, he's on 8% battery, 6% battery, so he's got no battery left. So he's gonna struggle to overtake Tico from here. He's used all his battery, gambling and getting past early on. Now he's at a moment there. I believe Scotty's tyres are gone. I believe they're shot. Rudy just gets through there.
Got past him now. So Rudy versus Tico for the race win. I'm all for it.
Oh, Scotty spun it.
His tyres are dead. His tyres are definitely dead.
Yeah. Well,
that is a shame. He was going to be one of my Drive the Day nominations.
Yeah, he had a good race. He had a really good race. I was impressed by his
not anymore.
By his pace, but no, he spun it there. It's Rudy in DRS to Tico.
No,
not quite. No.
Final lap of this race.
DRS is now enabled, so you will get DRS down the Kennel straight, but I think Rudy's too far back. I think it's going to have to be a send in the bus stop chicane. He's going to get the race when he's gaining. He's definitely gaining. He's in DRS now, but as with Scotty, Rudy's has got hardly any battery left, on 6%. And he's using it now. So Rudy is he's had to use his battery to catch up, and now he's caught up. He's going to find it very difficult, I think, to overtake Tico. I think Tico, if he keeps it calm this far up, I think he's going to win this race.
Yeah, I think so as well. And thanks to everyone that is watching. But there's more people watching the race than actually driving it, which Larkin was putting in the chat. There we go.
Yeah,
that is an interesting fact there. As Lakita's in the pits, but I think it's his AI, unfortunately. So we got Aston Martin leading, Rudy in second. Konzo, I don't know how Konzo's gone back into this. Konzo's in third. So fair play to Konzo at the moment.
He's stuck in there, and he's going to get a podium finish. So well done to him for keeping at it, not giving up.
He keeps it on the road.
Yeah, well, she should be able to. Scotty gets another time penalty. So Scotty must be quite close to disqualification. And he's spun again. So Scotty on them. He's gone back. He's gone out and he's on 7 poles soft. Some tyres they're short. I wish I had TAS. I would just see how much wear on. But they're on like 90% wear. Yeah, whereas Tico though very comfortable now, approaching the final few corners. It's going to take a commanding race. We have to say that impressive qualifying result. These two, the front two in the grid and the front two in the race, and these are definitely 2 title contenders.
Yeah, so Tico up to the line. He wins in Belgium for the pre-season. He is not many points, but who cares? He will take them. Rudy in P2. Konzo gets a nice podium, like you said. And then we got Scotty and Lakitu. That will bring up will be just Scotty. 4 finishes, ladies and gentlemen. And he won, but like we said, a lot of people signed out of SimGrid with the withdrawal process and stuff like that.
Look, Scotty knows the line is.
Hopefully we'll get more next week. And my food's just right. Good timing.
Yep, good timing. And Scotty, the line's there, mate. If you can cross it, and then we can sign out for the night as he's crossed backwards. Them tyres probably almost punctured with all them spins he was doing at the end there. I think another lap and he'd done a punch there for sure, but this game gives Konzo driver of the day, and we have to consider our nominations driver of the day now.
Yeah, we do. We got to pick 2 and we got to pick a question. Like we said, it won't count towards the stats, but it's basically just a warm up for all of us management and commentators, really, so we can get used to it before the season starts. So your race result then, an ERT driver wins with the form of Tico. Will he keep this form going into the race next week? The season next week, we'll have to wait and see. Then we've got Rudy in P2, Konzo in P3, Scotty in 4th, and then your retirements, Lakita with a disconnect, Robin West, Hannes, Josh, Tom, Henry R, and Chalkers. I know Tom had an awful crash, but it's so hard, tough to choose driver today. We can only pick 2 out of the 4. Who would you go for?
Well, for sticking in there, for not giving up after that spin lap one, it's so easy to come in the pits and retire. I'm gonna nominate Konzo for just sticking in there, doing a good job, getting the podium finished. I'm gonna ask him, what have you learned tonight for the season ahead?
Good question, and it's making mine a bit easier because I was going to go for Konzo if you didn't go for it, but I'm going to go for Tico. Started P2. Could have gone on soft like everyone else did, but he stayed out on the mediums for track position. Worked very well in the end and defended Rudy like a madman. So my question is, did you think you made the wrong decision by staying out on those mediums, or did you think that those mediums were gonna last and hold on to that win? And were you surprised as well? Long question, but we got through it in the end, didn't we? But that is it then. The final pre-season race of season 21. And then the season starts in earnest. Next week, you can vote for all driver of the days when the polls go out later on. And you could choose your favourite as well out of all the 4 tiers. And don't forget to check out all the other streams if you want. And also check out our sponsors, Next Level Racing, Game Magoo, Vespertine, ERT, and Pure Sim Gear as well. Thank you all of them. Without them, there'll be no league. Thanks to all the admins as well for all their hard work tonight. All the commentators, all the drivers, and the stewards as well for keeping us on the straight and narrow. And thanks to you, Jamie, for joining me. It was a bit last minute, but we still had fun in the end. Hopefully more drivers for you and Evil Dragon next week.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, so we are going to head off now and let you enjoy the rest of your night. I'm going to have some food because I'm absolutely starving, because I was meant to have my food an hour ago before I got called up by Mr. Evil Dragon. But thank you for watching. See you all next week at the first tier at 6:15 for P4 for their race at the Miami International Autodrome for the very first time in one-hand racing. Have a good evening. Ta-ra. Goodbye.